Welcome back. Happy Monday. I'm Rita Ernst. I am the author of Show Up Positive and a contributing author to Culture Impact Strategies to Create World Changing Workplaces. And I'm so happy that you are with me again today. Thank you for joining me. It is the Monday Minute, and we are going to dive into Show Up Positive to the 50 sparks at the back of the book. And we are just going to let fate decide what our inspiration for the week is going to be. And, I love this practice. I wanted to remind you to do it because sometimes we're just having a bad day. Sometimes we just have a single conversation that sort of deflates us. And this is a way for you to really dig in and recenter yourself when you need to. So let's see. I'm going to just flip here. Like I'm going to flip with you and I'm just going to stop. Okay, let's see. Where did I stop? Oh my gosh, I stopped on kindness. Now, kindness thematically next week is, I think, World Kindness Day. So we'll be talking about kindness a lot coming up, but let's get started early. Let's be early to the game of spreading kindness because kindness is a beautiful thing. So here are the three synonym words that go with kindness: courtesy, graciousness, and decency. And I'm just going to read a little bit to you here. Um, it's likely that you naturally show kindness to others. I think most of us are pretty kind people most of the time. Now, when we get irritated, maybe we are not so kind. And that's when we really need to get that centering of ourselves and dig deeper instead of allowing our emotional brain to go wah at somebody else and sort of spill all of our negative emotion onto them. This is when we have to be really thoughtful about choosing kindness. The volume is often greater than you realize because so many kind acts intersect with our social norms. How many examples of the below do you carry out routinely? So, here are ways that we show up and be kind all the time: allowing someone to go ahead of you, offering assistance, doing something to brighten someone's day, sharing what you have with another, using polite words, offering empathy, acknowledging someone's efforts, smiling, expressing concern, pausing to give your full attention to someone, giving encouragement, inviting others' company, listening without judgment, or prioritizing someone else's need before your own. Like, look at this list. These are things that you probably already do. And so, can you give attention and more specifically choose to do these things? And can you really celebrate within yourself all of these ways that you show up with kindness every day and all the kindness that you receive? So when you're having one of those bad days and you're feeling like the world is against you and things aren't going your way, maybe you can notice some of these small kindnesses that other people are offering to you and remember that it is a kind world out there and that there are people who are going to welcome and support you. And if you are listening either in replay or in real life, give me an amen in the comments because I think there's a lot of kindness in the world. We just have to stay focused on it. The tricky part is keeping your emotions in check, as we talked about earlier, and reminding yourself that you have choices in the heat of the moment. So, here are some things that you can do in the face of adversity. When you are finding yourself internally, you're noticing the response is not going to be kind. I'm not feeling kind right now. I'm having a little fight, for example, with my insurance company right now that I've made a claim and they are dragging their feet and I'm feeling really frustrated. And I have to pause myself when I'm interacting with a customer service person and remind myself that these are not their personal choices and that I need to be kind to them as an individual because they are doing their job. I don't think they've set out to make this difficult for me, but I think they're following the practices and protocols that they have been given. And I think they're also a little overworked and understaffed right now. And so I need to make sure that I'm being thoughtful and treating them the way I would want my child who might be in that job someday to be treated, right? So here we go. Things you can do. One, walk away and just say something to somebody like, that's interesting. Let me reflect and get back to you. So in the moment when somebody says something and you're thinking, oh, hell no, instead of saying that, maybe what you need to do is say, you know what? I need to think about that. Let me come back to you so that you can really step away from the emotional response and allow your brain to reset so you can critically analyze and think about. Because it's not enough to just say no. You, you've got to say why that is a no. If you're going to build a bridge with somebody, you've got to be able to have a conversation that goes deeper than just yes or no, right? You need to be able to express why it's a no for you, what you're not receiving that you need, so that that person has an opportunity to move towards you. Otherwise, we just have that magnetic polarization, like what we are experiencing in so much of our public discourse, that is not helpful at all. Number two, acknowledge. When somebody says something, you do not have to agree with them, but you can just acknowledge it. Okay, got it. Thank you for telling me that. Very simple things that don't say, yes, I agree with you, but do acknowledge that the person has responded to you. And if in their response you find yourself feeling triggered, then maybe again you move to step number two. Then you say, oh, I need to think about it, and I walk away. So that we want to make sure that that emotional part of our brain, that fight, flight, freeze thing that wants to protect us, is turning down the volume on that. We want to be able to turn down the volume on that. And sometimes what we need to do is create space to distance ourselves from that in order for us to be able to then use this part of our brain, this most logical, creative thinking part of our brain, to really pick the right path forward. The next one is forgive. So assume the person is having a bad day and don't take it personally. Or, like I said, assume that this person is just doing their job and this is not about them personally. So don't attack them personally, right? So, one of the things that we can do is just choose to be a little more forgiving and a little more gracious with somebody else. You know, if somebody, if you go into a store to buy something and the person that checks you out is sort of gruff and sort of not very friendly, and you're thinking, why is this person being so rude? Maybe they're just having a bad day. We never know for sure what's going on in somebody else's life, but we can make an assumption that this is a kind and nice person, and that there must be a reason that we are not seeing that today, and we just need to let that go and give them the space to be who they are. Because when we're having a bad day, we want people to give us that same space. So we're just offering what we would want. And then the third one is ignore. Don't allow the words that somebody else is saying to you have any meanings or importance to you. So if somebody tells you you're ridiculous or you're crazy or you don't know what you're talking about, those words only have as much weight and value as you and your inner critic allow them to have. So you can choose to say, okay, that's their point of view. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel confident I know what I'm talking about. And right now, I'm not going to persuade them, and they're not going to persuade me. And so I'm just going to step away from this. But I'm not owning what they're saying to me. You do not have to own the feedback and the labels that other people offer to you. And when you allow those, and your inner critic allow those to land and really take root, that's as much on you as it is anybody else, because you have so much ability to say, yeah, I don't think that's really true about me, and that's not who I want to be. Now, there's other introspection we need to do sometimes to make sure that we're not showing up in a way that we don't intend to. But we do not have to carry the mantle of the labels that other people offer to us, especially when they're negative labels like you're stupid or you don't know what you're talking about, right? So these are ways that we can offer kindness to ourselves, as well as offering kindness to others when we are in those difficult moments. And if you are following me on social at all, I've been doing a whole series of posts around this new program that I am offering. And that's what it's all about. It's in the moment when you're getting triggered. How do you turn the volume down on that emotional response, get re-centered into your body, and really allow yourself to act from your inner wisdom and the best version of you? And it takes practice, it takes muscle building, it takes more introspection and self-awareness. And so I have this really great 6-week intensive that everybody I've introduced it to loves and is getting so much value out of it. And so I am offering it to you as well if you really want to work on deepening your connection within yourself to your inner sage and your inner wisdom and allowing your best self to emerge regardless of how difficult the circumstances, knowing that that kindness that lives in you always has voice and that you know how to give it space to have voice. I would love to talk to you more about this special offer. And and I'm also doing it with graduates and in a package around really helping them bring their best selves into the interview and their first job. So I'm so excited about this. It's the natural transition of Show Up Positive from just practicing these words to really integrating the practices into our lives by building our ability to tap into our inner wisdom and strength at any moment in time, no matter how intensive. So I hope you're excited about that idea too. Well, it has been great to join you. It's 10 minutes in. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you for joining me for the Monday Minute. We are practicing kindness this week, and I'm going to leave you with these 4 questions to contemplate. Number 1, how can I notice when my teammates need extra kindness? How do I give it? Number 2, whose actions can I reinforce to increase their expressions of kindness? Number 3, whose unkind comments tend to trigger me? How can I see it as a reflection of them and not me? And number 4, which responses to adversity do I want to perfect? Good luck to you this week. I wish you loads and loads of kindness. We are front loading for next week's practices around World Kindness Day. We are getting in touch with our inner self and finding our strength and kindness and bringing more of it into the world every day. Thank you for joining me. I will see you again next week. Bye.